Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you to the World Teachers Quiz Know It All. Before we move any further of this fantastic initiative from the TeacherTribe.world, it is our pleasure and privilege to introduce to you our host, a passionate knowledge show host, writer, author, poet. She's the co-founder and senior editor of the TeacherTribe.world. She is also the only professional woman quiz host across Asia. With over 300 shows across 50 destinations of India and overseas, she enjoys a huge fan following now with students and teachers. From being a co-host of the Tata Crucible to several other corporate shows, the Teacher's Quiz is something that is very close to her and she's passionate about. She was rated by Business World as a 40 under 40 for content creators a year ago and was also conferred the iconic Woman Creating a Better World for All award by the Women Economic Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, here to grill you all, please welcome one and only Rashmi Furtado.
Hello ladies and gentlemen and my dear educators, welcome to the third edition of the World Teachers Quiz Know It All, brought to you by TeacherTribe.world in collaboration with CLLE, TCS Ion and NextGen Innovate. This is the third edition of the quiz and we have had thousands and thousands of teachers taking part, and from among all of them, we have shortlisted 64 and then to 16, and among the top 16 are these four who are here with us today for the fourth semi-final. Yes, I said top 16, so they have gone through multiple rounds to reach this semi-final here today. I said semi-final 4, which means I've already identified the first 3 finalists who have already qualified to the world final. Now it's time for me to identify the last finalists who will make it through. Let me quickly introduce our finalists to you and then we will get into the semi-final. Our first finalist of the day is Lakshmi Prabha from JSS Public School, Bengaluru. There she is. Following her is Dilip Chaudhary from Krishna Public School, Raipur. Up next is Aditya Chaudhary from Sunbeam School, Varanasi. And completing this lineup is Prakhar Anand from the Aryan International School, Varanasi. Alright, a lone lady carrying our flag in this semi-final. Let's hope she does well. But of course, I know all of them have seen their journey all through the quarter-final and now to the semi-final. All of them are good. So let's see what happens. As of now, I just want to sit back and I want to enjoy this entire quiz. Let's see what happens. Let's move into the first round of this quiz. Unlock the mind. Here we go. Teachers, careful with your buzzers. You know how sensitive they are. Once you press the buzzer, you have to give me an answer. Even if you tell me you've pressed the buzzer by mistake, you will end up getting a negative. So please be careful. In the first round of this quiz, you will have visuals coming up on your screen. Along with the visuals, I will have corresponding questions for you. It's up to you on when you choose to press the buzzer. Remember, the moment you press the buzzer, I stop reading out the question. Plus 50, minus 50 your scoring pattern, and only the winner from this semi-final will qualify to the world finale. One last slot left. Let's see who occupies that one. Question number 1 of this round coming up on your screen now. Name the famous invention from the inventor and his book on the invention, Sweating Bullets. The inventor is right there. His name is right there on the screen for you, Robert Gaskins. 5 seconds of time, teachers. All right, no one going on the buzzer on this one. Time is up. The answer I was looking for is PowerPoint, which is now Microsoft PowerPoint. Him along with another colleague created PowerPoint, which later on was taken over by Microsoft. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to be very strict about the rules, especially the time given to them, because this is the last step that is closer, gets them closer into that world final. So I have to be strict, I have no choice. Let's move on to the second question of this round, coming up on your screen now. Identify the invention from the inventor in this pic and his manual tabulation. Go ahead, Dilip's on the buzzer, go ahead.
This is mortality table.
Mortality table, he says.
Mortality.
Mortality table, I got the answer, -50. -50. I was going to give you a clue further. His name is Alfred Mosher Butts. The answer I was looking for is Scrabble. He is the one who created Scrabble. The table that you're seeing is basically his calculation and tabulation on how to arrive at the number of points and number of tiles in the game of Scrabble. All right, -50 on that one. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 3 coming up on your screen now. What is the claim to fame of this restaurant or cafe? It's called the Disaster Cafe and it's in Spain. The Disaster Cafe in Spain. What is shown to you is the entrance to the cafe. All right, time is up, more than 5 seconds, no one going on the buzzer this time again. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, this particular cafe, the guests can go in and enjoy a meal and feel simulated earthquakes of, I think on the Richter scale, it is somewhere around 7.5 or something like that. Don't hold me on that number, but it's basically simulated earthquakes that you end up experiencing and probably enjoying while you have your meal. The Disaster Cafe, no one going on that one. Let's move on to the fourth question of this round coming up on your screen now. Name the technique also used in teaching which was made popular by this advertising executive in his 1953 book called Applied Imagination. It was made popular by the book. All right, no one trying. No one trying again. All of you know this term, a very important strategy that all of us teachers have definitely used in our classrooms. Brainstorming the answer. Brainstorming is what he popularized and what he wrote about in his book, Applied Imagination. All right, let's move on to question number 5 coming up on your screen now. Identify this mathematician, philosopher, Prakhar, go ahead, he's on the buzzer.
Alan Turing, this is the imitation game, was a biopic on him, Alan Turing.
+50 to you, absolutely right. Alan Turing giving him his +50. Like he mentioned, the imitation game is a biopic based on the life of Alan Turing. Let's move on. The last question of this round coming up on your screen now. A failed diversification into perfume, cologne and fragrance segment by which iconic automobile brand is this? It's a matter of pride to own these bikes. Yes, I said bikes. I'm giving you all a clue there. Go ahead, Dilip Chaudhary on the buzzer.
Enfield.
Enfield taking a -50 on that. On the right track, but the wrong name. Harley Davidson, the answer. Harley Davidson is what I was looking for. He's on the right track, though he usually catches the clues well, but he ends up giving me the wrong name instead of the right one. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have completed the first round of the semi-final. Let's move on to the second round, setting the pace. Here we go. Nothing changes in this round. The format is absolutely the same as the first round. The number of questions are also the same. Visuals coming up on your screen, slightly longer questions, so be careful on when you choose to press the buzzer. The first one coming up now. Dangerous Minds was a movie based on the 1992 autobiography My Posse Don't Do Homework, of which radio broadcaster and US Marine turned writer and teacher, who is now in her 60s and still teaching, was the first woman to be inducted into DINFOS, which is the Defense Information School Hall of Fame. Some of her other books are also extremely well known and they are shown in the visual there. I need her name. Her image is also given there to you. Teaching Outside of the Box is, or Outside the Box is one of her very well known books. Teaching Outside the Box, all of us talk about outside the box. All right, time is up. No one going on the buzzer. The answer I was looking for is Luann Johnson. Luann Johnson would have given one of your plus 50. This book, Teaching Outside the Box, is actually a very no-nonsense book with a lot of techniques and steps and checklists and handouts for teachers who can use this strategy in their respective classrooms. Let's move on. Question number 2 coming up on your screen now. What was this in the news recently? Prakhar, go ahead on the buzzer.
Yeah, the cheetahs which have been reintroduced here, they were brought from this plane from Namibia.
Plus 50 to you. Absolutely right. The cheetahs that were brought into India from Namibia came in a customized aircraft, what you can see right there, very beautifully done. So they came in this aircraft, giving Prakhar the plus 50. Let's move on. Question number 3, a little longer question coming up on your screen now. Name the school teacher who became or who was well known for her blue eyes, brown eyes exercise or experiment, which she first conducted in her 3rd grade class the day after the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr., educating them about racial discrimination. This went on to become a huge topic of discussion in the country. The book there that you're seeing, A Collar in My Pocket, is what she wrote. Even to this day, she goes around lecturing about the same topic and talking or doing the same experiment with different groups of students or people. Blue eyes, brown eyes experiment. All right, no one trying. Time is up. I think our teachers are taking a little too much of stress. All right, the answer I was looking for is Jane Elliott. Jane Elliott is her name. She came up with this blue eyes, brown eyes experiment to ensure that the students in her class understand what racial discrimination is. So she separates the blue-eyed and the brown-eyed students and treats both of them differently. So they go through that entire experience and they understand how it feels. And what she also figures out with this experiment is that children don't necessarily come with these behaviors. They learn these behaviors from their environment. So she speaks about how we should never get into racial discrimination. Beautiful experiment. You must read about it. Let's move on to question number 4 for now. Coming up on your screen now. This action of face slapping is nothing new, but now it is a competitive sport where face slapping, where people or men of any sizes can slap each other until one of them either taps out or gets floored. This has evolved into what we call slap fighting, and this has even got into a bizarre new contest called the Slap Fighting Championship. All I want to know is which country did it originate from? You can see the image there of slap fighting championships. Lakshmi on the buzzer, go ahead, ma'am.
I'm just guessing USA.
USA, I think Arnold Schwarzenegger was her clue to go into USA. Good guess, but the answer I was looking for is Russia. Russia is what I was looking for as an answer. Minus 50 on that. Let us move on to question number 5 of this round, coming up on your screen now. This is a structure found on the national flag of a country. Which flag? Prakhar, go ahead.
This is a plan of Angkor Wat, which is there on the Cambodia's national flag.
Plus 50 to you. Absolutely right. Plus 50 on that. The map or the plan of the Angkor Wat, which is on the flag of Cambodia. Plus 50. Beautiful answer. The last question of this round coming up on your screen now. What does this cat do? There is something that is extremely famous. Dilip, go ahead, sir.
Is it related to cat coffee?
Okay, slightly better answer. Slightly better answer. Do you know the name of the coffee or the name of this cat?
The faces of this cat are used to make coffee.
All right. Plus 50 to you. Absolutely right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a civet cat. It eats the coffee beans and it excretes. And from that, it is further processed and cleaned to create what we call coffee luwak. It is one of the most famous coffees in the world, and that is what he said when he said the feces of these cat is further processed and cleaned to use as a coffee. Plus 50 on that one to Dilip Chaudhary. All right, with this, ladies and gentlemen, we have completed 2 rounds of this quiz. We are at the halfway mark, so let me tell you where all of our contestants stand. All right, with 150 points, Prakhar is now leading this quiz. Lakshmi ma'am and Dilip sir, both of them on minus 50. Aditya Chaudhary has not yet scored. He's a good quizzer, so don't go by what you see on your screen. Let's see what happens. We still have 2 more rounds remaining. Only one person, one winner from the semi-final will qualify to the world finale. Let's keep that in our minds. Let's move on to the 3rd round of our quiz, Think Beyond. Here we go. All right. The format of this round is slightly different from the other 2 rounds. You will have visuals on your screen, but you will have multiple visual clues. All you need to give me is an overall answer which connects all the clues on your screen. So it's like join the dots, connect questions. I am not interested in the individual answers. I need one overall answer to give you your 50 points. Okay? So I hope the rules are quite clear. Let's start with the first question. All right, first question of this round coming up on your screen now. Identify the American comedian, television host, actress, writer, producer, and an ardent animal lover. Her show recently, may not be recently, maybe a few months ago, her show stopped or concluded a few months ago. Oh, I thought this would be a quick buzz. All right, no one going on this. Time is up. I thought the childhood photograph that I've put up there on the screen would have been a good clue, and also that her show on television was concluded very recently. The answer I was looking for, ladies and gentlemen, is Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres is what I was looking for as an answer. That's her childhood photograph. What you see there, the elephant logo, she basically supports an NGO which ensures in safeguarding the elephants and their lives. The other 2 you see on your bottom left are the books that she's written, and on top the production house which is hers. And the Ellen DeGeneres show is, the Ellen show actually concluded a couple of months ago, if I'm not wrong. I don't recall the exact dates, but it concluded a few months ago. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 2 coming up now. Identify the famous author whose stories have been adapted into these movies. Shining, The Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, all well-known movies. Who is the author on whose books these movies were created? All right, taking too long, no one going on the buzzer there. I think these questions have really trumped our contestants here today. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, Stephen King. Stephen King is what I was looking for as an answer. All right, last 2 questions of this round remaining. Question number 3 coming up on your screen now. Name the island in Abu Dhabi. The island in Abu Dhabi. Go ahead, Dilip on the buzzer. Go ahead, sir.
Palmyra.
-50. -50 on that one. The answer I was looking for is the Yas Island. The Yas Island is what I was looking for as an answer. Ferrari World given right there. If you recall, there is a Formula 1 circuit in Yas Islands, and that is the advertisement that you can see. And you can also see Ranbir Kapoor right there on your screen. He is the ambassador now for them. So all of these connecting to Yas Islands. The last question of this round, ladies and gentlemen, coming up on your screen now. Connect all of them. Prakhar, quick on the buzzer, go ahead.
These were the books written by Dan Brown, the famous writer. Author.
50. Plus 50 to you. Absolutely right. Plus 50 on that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have completed 3 rounds in this quiz. Scoreboard, as of now, the story tells Prakhar is leading this quiz with 200 points. Dilip Chaudhary on -100, Lakshmi on -50, Aditya still on nil. We will now move into the last round of this quiz, the last lap. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the 3rd edition of the World Teachers Quiz Know It All, brought to you by TeacherTribe.world. We are in the last lap, and I have the last 4 questions of this quiz here with me. Nothing appears on your screen, so you have to listen to what I have to say. These are all oral questions. Rest of the rules remain the same. You will choose when you want to press the buzzer. Remember, last 4 questions means 200 points up for grabs. So even at this point, if Aditya Chaudhary decides to get all 4 right, he can still force a tiebreaker. But if Prakhar gets a couple of points, then it will be difficult for anyone to beat him. Let's see what happens. The first question, I said 4 questions in this round. So the first one, here we go. What is the term which was coined by the English author Horace Walpole in the mid-1700s, crediting it to a fairy tale that he read called The 3 Princes of Dash, in which the 3 Persian princes sail to an island called Dash. And they do that to find their fortunes and make wondrous discoveries on the way. This word that I'm referring to means the act of finding something valuable or interesting when someone is not looking for it. So finding something valuable or interesting by chance or accidentally, that is the meaning of this word. Aditya Chaudhary on the buzzer, go ahead.
Discovery.
Oh, -50. The answer I was looking for is serendipity. Getting a -50 on that is Aditya Chaudhary. I did give a longer explanation just to ensure you don't get confused with the words. Let's move on to question number 2. Moving on to the second question of this round, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Name this teacher, researcher and author who used the storytelling approach to teaching and taught kindergarten and preschool students for over 37 years, holding the unique distinction of being Dilip Chaudhary on the buzzer. Go ahead.
Frederick Verbal.
Oh, minus 50. Minus 50. I'm completing the question. Holding the unique distinction of being the only kindergarten teacher recipient of a MacArthur Fellowship, commonly but unofficially known as the Genius Grant. The answer I was looking for is Vivian Gussing Palais. She's also written many other books like You Can't Say, You Can't Play, A Child's Work, etc. Many other books, but she's the only kindergarten teacher to win this grant. All right. Last two questions of this quiz, ladies and gentlemen. Question number 3 of this round, the penultimate one. Here we go. What is globophobia the fear of? With the source of fear possibly the sound from its popping. Something that children probably enjoy a lot. Tiny tots. Lakshmi ma'am, go ahead.
Bubble wrap.
Oh, minus 50 on that. Minus 50 again. You were on the right track, but the wrong answer. The answer, ladies and gentlemen, balloons. Balloons is what I was looking for, which is why I said the tiny tots are the ones who probably enjoy it a little more than all the other children. The last question of this quiz, ladies and gentlemen, slightly longer question. Here we go. Which non-profit entity was co-founded in 1946 by Roland Beryl, an Australian barrister, and Lancelot Ware, a British scientist and lawyer, with the intention of forming it as an aristocracy of the intellect? The co-founders were disappointed with it as the majority of the members came from the working or the lower class homes, and a large chunk of its members spent excess time solving puzzles. What am I talking about? All right, I'll help you out. It is better known or classified as a high IQ society. High IQ society. All right, time is up. Oh, Dilip sir on the buzzer. Go ahead. I will allow you to answer. Go ahead.
MENSA.
Mensa International, absolutely.
Mensa.
Absolutely right. Plus 50 on that. Mensa International, the answer I was looking for. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have concluded this semi-final of the World Teachers Quiz Know-It-All. Let me look at the final tally and figure out who the winner is. All right. With 200 points, Prakhar Anand from the RN International School, Varanasi, has not only won this semi-final, but has also cemented his slot in the world finale of the World Teachers Quiz Know-It-All. Congratulations to you, Prakhar. The rest of them, Lakshmi and Dilip, so both of them are on minus 100 and Aditya Chaudhary on minus 50. I think this ended up becoming a slightly difficult final for them, but I also believe that they probably stressed themselves out a little too much than required, which is why the stress weighed on them and they were not able to give me the answers. But in any case, we have identified our fourth finalist, Prakhar Anand. Congratulations to you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move into the world final of the World Teachers Quiz Know-It-All 2022. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss the world finale. If you haven't watched their journeys, please go back and watch them from the quarter-final and all the semi-finals. The world finale is going to be even more entertaining than all the other episodes that you have already watched. I will see you at the world final of the World Teachers Quiz Know-It-All 2022. You all take care.